the one that I was really trying to go to was from Jonathan Early, where he was asking about, he said Mason played really well, and did he think people would finally see him as a decent backup, because he thinks he is, and he would look to make an even decent starter. And that's where I was trying to go, but I jumped the gun a little bit on my question. But either way, they all kind of flow together.
Yeah, no,
right
100%.
there. But I do think that he has proven, like I said, in that small sample size, that he can be the backup for Ben at least next year. And in terms of him being a decent starter, it's one game, right? We saw about
Matt Flynn.
Yeah, because we saw about 10 games last year. It was probably a combination of 10 games. He obviously didn't play every game, and it was a mixed bag. Like some games he was decent, some games he was below average, right, or below the line. So to me, I need to just see more of him so I can know if this is more the normal, or was early last year more than normal. We don't know right now, and anybody that tries to assume they do is lying to themselves, because it's impossible to know without physically seeing him get these opportunities and getting the full gamut. Not a, all right, get a series here. Not a, all right, you can play a quarter here, or you're in garbage time here, or it's a preseason game here. It's just hard to evaluate him like that. With Matt Flynn, think about Matt Flynn. He had two two last game of the season type performances where he was able to ball out, and then from there he got paid nice to go to Seattle. But then
couldn't even win the job from there.
Right. But shout out to Russell Wilson, right? Yeah. But then from there, he ended up getting beat out. But a lot of people didn't know, was he good or not, because it was just that one game. So that's the biggest thing with that, man. You just don't, I don't know if he'll be a decent starter just yet, because we haven't seen enough of him. To be a decent starter, it takes more than just winning one game. If that's the case, then Sam Darnold's a decent starter. Andy Dalton's a decent starter. We can just go down the list of all these decent starters who win, a couple of games here and there.
Yeah, have flashes.
Right. Yeah, they'll flash. But to be a decent starter, I feel like that's somebody that's consistent. Somebody that, man, when they come in, Ryan Fitzpatrick, decent starter to me, right? You can trust him, but he's decent because he can win you some, but he can also lose you some. The difference when you talk about the upper echelon and the really good and the great quarterbacks, they're going to win you a lot more games than they're going to cost you. That's the difference. And right now with Mason, we just do not know if he's capable of winning you a ton of games or losing you a ton. We don't know just yet, because we haven't seen enough of him. That's my biggest thing with him.
Is there anything specifically about like his play or throws or anything like that?
Because I didn't see it. No, go ahead.
I did want to mention like
the deep ball accuracy.
Well, one of the big knocks on him last year was he's like floating balls. Like I don't even know. Like some of his throws were just really off whenever he was throwing the ball deep. This one, everything seemed on point. Like even the misses, like the one he overthrew to Claypool. It was first quarter, first half. The other one or two he missed, it was like a Claypool jump ball, and then there was another one in the corner of the end zone to Washington.
Well, I know one play the DB just made like a great play. The DB just stuck his hand out there and blocked the ball. Yeah, but other than that, the throws were on time. Like his accuracy looked good.
Arm strength looked good.
Absolutely.
Like even on the slant routes across the middle to like Juju, like he looked good. Like he looked really good. Like legitimately good. Like kind of what that Jets game was. I mentioned this earlier, just to like another level.
But that was also, and remember when we brought up the Cowboys game and people tried to get on his arms?
I mean, I was one of them.
But that's the biggest reason why I'm like, it's night and day. And this is what I was alluding to, and you could see that. But I'm just happy. I'm happy because, like I said, you can acknowledge, Mason played well, right? A lot of people it's still people that don't want to acknowledge. I'm like, we're not saying that he's great. We're not saying that he's the successor. But to act like he didn't play a good game yesterday, let's be real. Over the past 4 weeks, you can make a case that was the best quarterback play we've seen in Pittsburgh. It's debatable. You can make that. And that segment was brought to you by DRAFTKINGS Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbooking app. Not only is it safe, but it is secure. And we love reliability. And that is also what DraftKings is, man. They are very much reliable. And for all the first-time users out there, the first-time users, right? We all were a first-time user. We all were there before. But for all the first-time users out there, if you use the promo code MOATS, you will receive up to $1,000 in deposit bonus money. So, what are you waiting on?
I'm really not sure.
No, like seriously, what are you waiting on? Download the app, use the promo code, and get an opportunity to make a little money.